What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Chris 183. And guys, we have yet another episode for you within our January topic. And Steve, I love this January topic. I've said it before. I said it again. We've talked about a lot of old music on the show. Music that we don't consider old because we love it. It never gets old in our mind. High school definitely never ends, as we like to say. However, 2024, which was just last year, just right around the corner, backwards, had a lot of great music in its own right. And we definitely didn't want to shortchange what we consider newer music on this show because there's so many cool things to talk about, so many great albums that came out. And today we're gonna talk about an album by a band that would kind of fit both categories. This is a band that has been around for a long, long time. Once again, I remember getting an album of theirs a long time ago, maybe 94, 95-ish, and really enjoying it and kind of being a fringe fan since then. That's right. The band that we're going to talk about today is called The Offspring or Offspring. We're just called Offspring, right? It's not The Offspring. I think it depends.
I think it's The Offspring.
It's The Offspring. Yeah, definitely The Offspring.
I think it could be either, though. I think we could probably agree on that, right? It could be either way.
Colloquially, correct? Offspring, yes, except
guest. We didn't introduce you yet. Don't speak until we announce you. My gosh.
I'm sorry, sir.
Just like Gwen Stefani says, don't speak. Ha.
Ha. Anyways, I guess we can announce our guest here.
Wait a minute.
Bailey. Hi, Bailey. I just wanted him to not be in speaking jail.
It's okay. Aww. It's all right. No, he's good. He's good. But yeah, he can't really contain it because if you guys listened to the show before, Bailey has been on when we talked about Offspring. He's been on for other stuff too, but he is our resident expert and super fan of Offspring or The Offspring, depending on who you talk to these days. But it made sense to bring him back for this album. And today we're going to talk about the album Supercharged, which came out in I almost said 94, 2024. What's that? 40 years later, 30 years later, you do the math, right? Doesn't matter, right? One plus one equals two. But before we do that, Steve, I think we have some patrons to shout out.
We do. We have our patron list is growing. We have Jason, Punkish Dad, Sam, Steve C, Ashley, Nick, and Tom. Thank you all for subscribing. And hello to you all. And Bailey, hello to you. As Chris had said, you have joined us for Offspring before. You famously won an episode of High School Never Ends Jeopardy because our final Jeopardy question happened to be Offspring related. We haven't spoken to you, I think, since we did some Newfound November. So welcome back to the show. Sorry about the Washington Commanders.
Thank you for having me back on again. Big Offspring fan, so I appreciate the topic. And yes, it is a sad day for me, especially for all the Philadelphia friends I have.
At least your team has a name these days.
Have we solidified? Have we set the expectation on this show in the history of the show that Bailey is a fan of that team? I don't think we've ever talked about that.
That's true, but Steve knows me enough that I'm a Washington fan in general. So, yeah. But and the defeat is very fresh. NFC Championship loss got the kicked out of them. Big bummer, but
make sure that we record that somewhere because we like to keep a running tab of all of the lore of the show, and that's part of it now.
All the fandoms. Jarrett Reddick, Steelers. Bailey is the Washingtons.
Yes, except for the Orioles. I'll take the Orioles are my baseball team at least.
Very good. Well, today, unlike the Commanders, we can't lose because we feel like, we have our opinions on what could potentially be a polarizing album. And we'll get into it here in a second. We usually like to start things off with some stats or just the history of the album overall. And so let's do that first. Let's talk about the history with this album specifically. I know we don't have a long history because it just came out last year, but guys, what is your history with the album Supercharged?
It's pretty simple for me. Didn't listen to it when it came out. Maybe I heard a single on the radio, but didn't know much about it. But I think I picked this one when we did our picks for the new from 2024 series because I like The Offspring and I just kind of wanted to see what they were doing. So yeah, I hadn't listened to it until like this past week.
Yep. Well, I'll go real quick. I paid no attention to this. I like the Offspring too, but I had no idea. I'm just oblivious to things, and this is one of those things. So this is news to me and an exciting exercise as a result. Bailey, what about you?
So I hadn't realized that they were going to put out a new studio album until I saw them over the summer. They played at the Ocean's Calling Festival in Ocean City, Maryland, and I saw them there. And they played a couple of songs from the new record. I can't remember which one was which because it was a blurry day, and as you can imagine.
Was that the night that your phone got destroyed because you were in a torrential downpour?
No, that was the night before. That was when Blink was the headliner, and they came on like 45 minutes late to everyone's chagrin.
Got it.
Yeah, that was a rough night. I did not appreciate that rain. Anyway, but no, so I just seen them. They played a couple of new songs, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard those yet. And then I saw that they were releasing a new album, and I tracked it until it came out in I think October. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I gave it a few listens then, kind of liked it, but I just put it aside because other music came out. I move with the flow sometimes. But once you guys asked me to be on the show, I gave this one a lot of heavy listening. I listened to it probably for like the last solid week to give it a proper judgment in my mind. And I think I've rendered at least a personal verdict on this one. So I'm ready to discuss whatever, ready, sir. I don't want to jump the gun again.
Seriously though, like, Offspring, we all say that we love Offspring and we all say that we go way back with this band. But in reality, when's the last time you listened to, I don't know, Ixnay on the Hombre? When's the last time you picked up that album and listened to it? When's the last time you listened to Americana?
Like the full album, or do you mean like a
Yeah,
few
like-
songs from it?
No, just sat there and listened to the album. When's the last time?
I realized a lot of people don't do this ever. I was driving with a friend to Atlantic City, and I was listening. I think I put on Hot Mulligan and Neck Deep just because they were fresh in my head from our little series here. And he's like, "Man, you listen to albums?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's what we do for our show." But I don't know if a lot of people like listen to albums anymore. I'd be interested.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like I can't remember the last time I truly like listened to an album all the way through. Like in the age of Spotify, you can just make a playlist and roll with it. But no, like the last time I gave like Americana or Ixnay a listen to, it's probably back in the age of CDs. You know what I mean? Like probably in my car when I had a CD changer last in like 2008.
I think that the Offspring in particular, because of their longevity and because they've had so many big songs and hits, I feel like they're like at this point in time, they're like a more of a greatest hits or a singles type of listen, at least for me. Like, I don't know, I really liked the whole, Americana, Conspiracy of One, Splinter. Like that was my favorite little, run of their albums. Probably just because of the age that I was at that point in time. But I feel like it's just like singles at this point. I don't think that I would go back and listen to the full albums.
I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, and I know that you want to be new and fresh and hip with the kids, but guys, like even on Spotify, you can listen to the album really easy. You can just turn it on and leave it go. Like it's not like I'm talking about you have to pop a CD into your disc changer and listen to it that way. All you need to do is just turn it on your Spotify and hit play, and then it plays the album. So you're telling me there's a barrier of entry of listening to an album these days, or people just don't have the, I don't know, the attention span to listen to a whole album? Is that what it is?
No, I think it's just the ability to pick and choose which songs you like from every album. Like there's very few albums that I would say have like wall to wall like songs that I would not avoid. Like there's definitely a few songs from even my most beloved albums that I'm like, yeah, I skip this one. So, I mean, the ability to like sit there and make a playlist of like your favorite songs of all time, like it's nice. It's convenient. But yeah, I do agree. Like albums were the way the artist meant for you to listen to it. So there is some merit to like giving it a full listen through. And yeah, I mean, I think maybe I'll start doing that more often, but I definitely have not been doing that historically in the last like 5 years.
Eventually, my plan is to come up with some kind of way to stop people from not listening to whole albums anymore. I want to force people to listen to albums again. Maybe we can figure out a way where if you don't do that, it shuts down your phone completely. Like you can't use it, or it infects it with a virus, that locks it up completely until you listen to an album. Once you do that, then it unlocks. And then if you try it again and you try that funny business, it locks it again.
That's some hacker shit right there.
The make albums great again virus.
Yeah, I'm not going to, I don't want their information or anything. You can keep all that. It's just that I'm locking you down until you do what I say. So, I mean, that's kind of what I was getting at there. But okay, well, my point's not proven. And it just seems like you guys listen to specific songs. Okay, let me ask that again. What songs do you listen off? What's the last, not this album, but what can you remember being the last Offspring song that you've listened to just on a whim?
Like, did I put it on, or it was on when I was listening to it?
That you put it on. You made an effort to put it on. Like, I want to listen to Offspring and I want to listen to this song.
I would maybe say, like, when Days Go By came out in 2012, I was still interested enough to like want to listen to that record. So it was probably around then.
Okay, so
and there's been
years ago.
There more than that, but they had a pretty big gap. I mean, Days Go By was 2012, and then their next record didn't come out till 21. So, and I guess I didn't listen to that one because I don't remember anything from Let the
It
Bad
wasn't
Times
very
Roll.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say 12 is probably when. Because I think even those later 2000s records, the Rise and Fall, Rage and Grace, and Days Go By, I think I dug, maybe not the full thing, but good, like several songs.
Uh-huh.
That's for me. I mean, honestly, like the last time I put on like a purposeful Offspring playlist, so it was actually the one I made for the episode I did for you guys last time. The one I was just like, oh, I'm going to make a list of all my favorites. And I don't know, that's kind of like sniffing your own farts or anything like that. But I put it on every now and then. It's a pretty good one in my book.
It's probably still out there in playlist land. If you go to that episode from years ago and look at our show notes, it's probably linked there.
Scientifically, the greatest Offspring playlist of all time.
Steve, any other stats on this album that you wanted to get into?
Well, let's see. It came out October 11th of last year, 2024. It was on Concord Records. I haven't heard of that. I don't know what that is. It was produced by Bob Rock. I don't know who that is, but that's a very good name for a rock producer.
I want to make that joke so bad about the painter.
It was their 11th studio album. And actually, their first studio album since Ignition in 1992 that did not enter the Billboard 200. So every other album at least cracked the 200, which this one did not.
They've been down bad for a little bit.
Why? Why doesn't it crack it?
I don't have the whys. I just have the facts. Probably because it's bad.
I disagree, sir, but we'll get into that in a minute. But honestly, I think it's fall off from their last album, which was, in my opinion, just not a very good one. And it didn't get very good ratings either. Like it kind of got panned. And I think they maybe took a little bit of a hit from that, especially since it was like their first one in almost 10 years. Everyone was like, this is your comeback, huh? So hopefully in my book, this redeems them a little bit.
Who is this band for? And who is this band for in 2025? Is it for us?
I would say it's got to be for us. It's got to be for people that like the Offspring already. I mean, are they attracting new fans?
Hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they had a few singles off this one, but I can't tell you what the radio airplay is like.
I mean, we're talking about 60-year-old men. I mean, not that matters because I suppose bands like the Rolling Stones and Aerosmith continued to attract fans. But maybe not a lot. I don't know.
When I saw them live this summer, they were pretty solid. I mean, maybe they're not like at their peak in like the like the 2000s or anything like that. But
there's a difference between playing a set of all greatest. Like I remember the first time the Offspring was like one of my bucket list bands because they were a band that I just like happened to not see for whatever reason. And I think the only time I've seen them was at some sort of festival, and it was 30 minutes, and it's just. There's so many hits that it's crazy. They're a greatest hits band, and those songs, they know how to do them really, really well, and everyone knows them. So that's where they fall.
Like, who was 60 years old when we were 19, 20 years old? Who was a 60-year-old band?
I think Smash came out in 94, so
when we were 18, I don't know.
Yeah,
Zeppelin,
I mean, I'm just saying, like
Pink Floyd,
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, it'd probably be about right.
Those that
The
era.
British invasion
Yo, so
bands.
if I were gonna be like, yo, Steve, check out this new Robert Plant, do you think you would care?
I wouldn't have probably cared then, but I did like Aerosmith a whole lot, and I bought their new records. Well, they didn't release too
Big
many
ones.
after. Well, Big Ones was greatest hits, but they Just Push Play. It was one of their later albums, and Nine Lives. I got those. I listened.
Okay. Okay. Just a
So like,
discussion topic.
yeah, they're like in the Green Day era. So like,
Green Day here.
yeah,
A little bit older than that, right? A little bit older. Maybe a little bit older.
early mid '90s. Yeah.
Yeah. I stuck with Green Day too, so I'm with you. I think this is a good spot before we actually dive into the songs to play the game we love to play. Everybody loves to play it. It's the top 5 most popular songs on Spotify. And guys, what we do, Bailey, what we do here is you and Steve alternates and you guess songs across the Offspring universe of what you think are the top 5 most popular songs according to what I'm looking at right now. So, with that said, if you miss 3, the game's over, you lose. But if you get them all, you win.
Okay.
Bottom line. These are all albums. This is not just one album or the album we're talking about today. This is across all albums. So
There's no way there's
ado,
anything from this album in there.
without, but there could be. But without further ado, as they say, Bailey, you're the guest. Start us off. What are one of the top 5 most popular songs from The Offspring?
Just one of the top 5 doesn't have to
Well,
be like
you
number
guys
one. It's
are
like
going
Family
to-
Feud style.
You guys
Yes.
are going to alternate. Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. I'll do Coming Out and Play.
Incorrect. That is
What?
strike one.
Oh my God.
Strike one.
Oh, I'm
unfortunately,
I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
That's not a
Steve,
bad guess, though. I mean,
it's not a bad guess, but I feel like I wouldn't have gone there. Nothing against the guess. I just got to think differently. So, Bailey, that is strike one. Steve, can you redeem the team, or are you going to put yourself into the danger zone?
I'll go Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Ding, ding, ding. That is number 4
Okay.
of 5. Pretty Fly for a White Guy. So nice going there. That one has 529 million streams. So a lot of streams there. All right, Bailey, back to you.
All right, let's go. You're going to go far, kid. Got a lot of plays.
That is number 2 of 5.
Let's go.
1,120,000,000 streams.
Because that one came out closer to the streaming era, I would assume.
Yeah.
That's probably a good reason
And
why.
that was one of their like more popular contemporary hits.
And I love that song. I know it's played a lot on the radio, but I love it, love it, love it. So,
Yeah.
All right, number 2, you're going to go far, kid. You guys have 3 left on the list and 2 strikes to go. Steve, you are up.
Let's we're either going to make an error like Bailey did at first, but we should go Self-Esteem.
That is a great guess.
That was going to be my next guess.
And that is number 3
Okay.
on the list.
You know, you made me think it was wrong. That was a switcheroo there.
647 million. So you guys got 2, you got 3, you got 4. You're looking for number 1 and number 5.
Huh. Okay.
Hmm.
Bailey.
Let's see. Gonna go.
You got some wiggle
Man.
room. You got some wiggle room.
Man, I'm trying to think of the like big airplay hits. I can't believe Coming Out and Play wasn't one of them.
You know what's really good for podcasts is dead air.
I know. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Well, people know because
fine.
people are probably shouting out what they think.
Oh, this
The
was
answer is-
it was on purpose for the audience. Okay,
It is.
Exactly. This is like the
take your time.
we'll say I don't know. Why don't you get a job?
Oh, that is correct. That is
all right. I didn't think that was that popular. Woo.
number 5 on the list. You got the 5th one. That's a tough one, I think.
Yeah, that was a shot in the dark, honestly.
So
that was a panic guess.
Although if you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. 398 million streams and some change. So there's one more, Steve, and you guys have wiggle room again. You got 2 more strikes and 1 more to go. What is the number 1?
I think I'm confident with this.
Okay, go for it.
I think it's going to be The Kids Aren't All Right.
I'll guess.
You guys are on fire tonight. That is the number one.
Really? I didn't
That
think that
is
was
the
going to be that
number one
popular.
most
Yay.
popular with another 1 billion and change streams. So that kind of throws your theory out the window because this has 1 billion and some change streams, and it came out way before the streaming era. Correct?
It
Well,
did.
So
Yeah.
it's an amazing song. It was my ringtone for a while.
Is that one on Americana?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would say it's probably one of their most iconic songs, if not the most. I mean, I don't know. I guess you can make an argument for self-esteem, but man, I don't know.
Bad Habit was not on that list. That's a pretty strong one too, but maybe that a little less
That's
mainstream.
Not as popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as mainstream. I love it, but it's not as mainstream. So thank you for playing, guys. You win
All right.
the
Air high
prize.
five.
There you go. I got none wrong. You got one wrong. I
I
win.
did. Man,
I
I
will.
thought I had a good guess there, though.
You both will get cassette tapes of the album Happy Hour by The Offspring. I will get you cassette tapes of that album.
Cool,
Yes.
cool. Is
I'm
that a
excited
comp
about
album?
this.
I have no idea.
I think it might be a
We're
compilation.
gonna find out.
I don't think that was an original album.
Well, are you going
Anyways.
to turn it down? Are you sending it back? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'll take it. I'll put it in my Walkman. That
All
was
right,
stolen
Steve.
a long time ago.
Are we ready to get into this, or do we have other stuff to do before?
I think maybe a couple of overall thoughts, if that's okay, before it's song by song, or overall
Do it.
thoughts okay?
Do it.
All right. Overall thoughts, guys. This album is bad. This is not a good album. That's my overall thought. The first time I heard this album, I was like, this album is bad. It doesn't sound good. Dexter's voice sounds washed out. It's they did too much to his voice. And I also said to myself, they're literally reusing the same ideas that they've already done. They're not bringing anything new to the table. They're just doing the same things, but not doing them as well. And I was not particularly pleased. I will say, and I have this theory that if you're somebody who generally likes to like things like I am, that the more you listen to something inherently, you'd like it more and more. Because I said on both the Hot Mulligan album and the Neck Deep album, I said, and I think the Bayside album maybe, that the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. And I will say that as I gave this full album, and it's not that hard to give the full album a stream, people who don't like full album streams. It's only 10 songs. It's not super long. It did start to grow on me, the catchiness a little bit, but I still stick by. I made my notes from a lot of like initial thoughts from like the second or third go around, and I'm going to stick to those.
Bailey, what do you think?
Counterpoint. Overall, no, I really like this album. It actually kind of reminds me a bit of their vintage stuff, which is good for me personally, because that was like my favorite era, like the Smash to Splinter era, if you will. I would say it's giving Smash, or I think that's how the kiddos say it these days. I don't know. My Gen Alpha kids haven't taught me the full lingo yet. But honestly, my biggest complaint of this whole album was that it was too short. It was 30 minutes long. Like, I wanted more personally. When I was listening to it on Spotify for the first time, I thought something like glitched because it cut to Green Day like after the last song, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "That was not very fast," because I usually put on music when I'm like doing work, because I'm a desk worker and I use Spotify to help me focus. And
Your fake email job.
Exactly, my email job. But no, I really wish they had some more tracks on this one. I thought it was a big improvement over the previous album. I did not like Let the Bad Times Roll. I thought Days Go By was pretty solid. I thought this was more of a return to form. I don't know if it's like one of their best albums, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's no Happy Hour, but it's definitely something. Have you actually brought something up that I thought was interesting, unrelated to anything we're talking about, but have you ever started watching a TV show episode and then woke up and it was a different TV show?
I
Yes.
guess maybe, yeah.
But you
Sometimes.
thought it might be the same TV show that you were watching before, just things didn't really match up the same way.
Maybe it was new characters and you're just kind of groggy and haven't figured it out yet.
Yes, that's exactly right. I did that last night. I was like, you know what? That looks like a guy. Maybe they're in a different setting, but it's not the same actor. And that looks like the female lead, but it's not the same actor.
Let me put my glasses on.
So I did that, and we'll get into what those TV shows were another time. But I thought it was I actually didn't mind the length of this album. I thought it was fine. I'm of the new school of thought where I'm kind of into sometimes shorter albums. Maybe it's just easier for me to digest. Maybe I just have less time to do stuff. But if I want to listen to something front to back, this is an easy in and out. So I don't have a problem with that. I do think it brings in. I do agree with you. It brings in some of the historic or legacy sound of the band and intermixes it with some new things. I mean, I know you said it doesn't bring any new ideas or very few new ideas, Steve, but I hear some new stuff in this album that I've never heard before from Offspring, and I thought some of it was well done. So I'm kind of more on the side of not bad to I kind of like it versus I don't like it at all. And we'll get into why, but that's where I kind of fell after listening to it for a handful of times.
All right, well, let's keep looking out for number one and get right into it. Bailey, guest, would you like to kick things off with the first track here?
Looking out for number one over here. That's the name of the song. Anyway, so yeah, no, this song was a solid opener. It kind of dives right into their familiar sound. Reminded me of "You're Gonna Go Far, Kid," honestly, but in like a good way since that's one of their better ones. But no, I liked the pace of the opener. It was like a quick pace song, which reminded me of like their better fare. I've always liked their faster stuff personally, but no, I really like this opener.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think about bells? Do you like bells?
I mean, if they're done well, then I can like a bell.
How do you play the bells? Do you have like those hand bells or do you have to like ding them with like a stick? What's the best way to play bells?
I just watched a 1 hour episode, a documentary on the history of the cowbell sketch from SNL. So that would be with a mallet of some sort.
But this was not that. This was a standard traditional bell that they were using. So go ahead. Now that I got the juices flowing.
Yeah, so I said it in our little intro here. I just don't think Dexter's voice sounds that good. It sounds like they took the grit out of his voice by mixing it too much. There are kind of like two types of Offspring song, as I probably identified in the last long Offspring episode we did. Right, there's the kitschy, silly "I'm making this for the radio" song, and then there's kind of the more punk and inspired, rocky song. And to me, this like the pre-chorus especially makes it sound like one of those kitschy Offspring songs. The voice in the background voice, I did not particularly like, and it did also reminisce of. You said it was "Gonna Go Far, Kid." Is that "Hit 'Em Right Between the Eyes"?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, literally, it's they hit you with their lies, hit them right between the eyes. It's just, I don't know, it's a little too close to it. And, I will say that the guitar work and the drums are very good. I noticed that, I think that these guys are still a tight band. So they know how to play their instruments, but they're it's a little cookie cutter. There's not a whole lot to it. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, end. Like, it's not so much outside the box. I mean, it's all right. It's okay.
I wonder how old is Noodles?
I don't know.
When you search Noodles, I Googled Noodles and it comes up with all kinds of different Noodles and company
61.
Stuff. All right. So I just was curious. So we already talked about the bells. I'll tell you what though, like the sound on this first track sounds like Offspring mixed with almost a pseudo modern style of music. You can hear some of that produced new wave stuff in this one, and I think that it's weird to hear Offspring do this kind of song. It's jarring. Notice I didn't say bad. I just said it's weird and jarring because I don't really expect that. You expect a certain thing from a band that you spent the most time with back in the 90s and early 2000s. So now that we're in 2024, 2025, what new music sounds like, new rock music, and how they use this type of theme. this type of production on songs. You hear it here, and I mean, this could almost be in some ways, in certain aspects of it, it could be a club song by the way that they have just certain pieces of the song are put together. You could hear that in a club. I don't know which one, but it could be. But I think that it still keeps the Offspring identity. So I'm okay with the fact that, they try something a little bit different in the sound, something newer, but keep that same Offspring just whinge to it. It's still there, still have, and I don't think, to me, I don't hear many differences in Dexter's voice. I think, yes, he is a little bit older. It definitely sounds, a little bit different than if you turn on Smash, but at the end of the day, it's still a pretty catchy song.
I think
and
he's
it has
overproduced his voice. Not that his voice has gotten any worse.
Yeah, maybe.
I want to hear his voice.
I don't mind that though. Like, I get it, and it's not always the worst thing to produce. I don't think it's overproduced. I think it's fine, but it still has that standard Offspring tempo and chorus. So I think it's fine. It's just it's a little bit different of a spin on an old style Offspring song, and it brings you back into what this album is going to be, which is just a little bit different. So that's my thought on this one.
Okay, well, I guess I'll light one up with this next song, which is called "Light It Up." To me, this one sounds a little more of that like kind of classic Offspring, not really the kitschy Offspring. You got the drums that are going off like crazy, super fast paced song, and it's got this switch to kind of like a metally sound, like about halfway through, which I liked. I didn't hate them doing that kind of metally thing. That was pretty cool. So overall, I think I like this one better than the first one. I think I had less things to complain about. Ultimately, still a little bit of a simple song, but enjoyable enough. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, look, it's paint by numbers Offspring. It's one of those just fast paced, psych yourself up, Offspring, hard driving guitar driving song. And it's what you expect if you listen to Offspring over the years. So that's kind of why I didn't love this one, is it was the same stuff, but it didn't have that melodic hook that really kind of sucks me in on songs like, I don't know, Bad Habit or other songs like that, where I really get into it based on the melody. This didn't have that for me. I feel like it might grow on me over time, but for a titular track, which I think you missed that, by the way.
Is there the word supercharged in this?
Well, it's the same thing, because Supercharged is kind of like Light 'Em Up. You know what I mean?
No, that does not get titular.
That tracks.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm connecting those.
You can't
dots,
reach for the titular.
Steve, there's a drinking game called I Agree with Steve on this, so I'm just playing into that. So you blew all that up. You blew it all up.
Oh, okay, got it.
I get a half smile from Steve. Is what I get from that. But it's true. There is a drinking game, and I would not recommend you play it. But the other thing here is the whoa-ohs are just not necessary. Like, no whoa-ohs, guys. Keep those out of the song. We don't want them. We don't want them.
I mean, I don't mind whoa-ohs, but that's fine.
But this is my opinion time.
Yeah, you're right.
My opinion. Okay. Bailey, did you talk about this already?
No, not yet.
All right, go for it.
You kicked us off on this one.
Yeah.
No, I really like the song. This is like kind of like you described it. This is like their fast-paced, hard-charging, like this is the kind of song I would put on like a gym playlist and like jam out to it. Like if I was at a live show, I would want them to play this song. Like this is the kind of one that, like gets you up, gets you moving, and like jamming out. Like I found myself drumming to this song at my desk and singing like I've got a rocket on my back, like when I'm like doing chores and stuff like that. Like this is, to me, like the perfect song that you put on when you're just trying to like charge yourself up to do something banal like chores or lift heavy things and put them back down.
Like vacuum.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're like, yeah, I'm fighting the establishment while I'm vacuuming my carpet. Because that's what it's like when you're 40 years old, punk.
Oh no, I think you can vacuum your carpet at any age. It really doesn't matter.
It's true. My daughter really does like using the vacuum, so I guess
it feels good, right? It feels good when you're done.
It does. Like I like the cleanliness and organization. Anyway, back to Anarchy. But no, I enjoyed this song greatly. This was like the fast paced guitar and like the crunchy sound. I really dug. Definitely reminds me of some of their older material from Smash. Like I said, this is sort of like some vintage sounds they've already got going on. And Steve or Chrissy might not like the whoa-ohs, but I'm personally a fan. But yeah, like this one, lyrically speaking, it's doesn't carry a lot of water, but it's a fun song and I enjoyed it.
Maybe I am the only one ever that doesn't like whoa. I don't know.
There's a lot of them on this record.
There are a lot of them. There's more in this next song here too. Like you're right where you need to be, right between these two songs, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is I'm surprised you had that opinion about the album when there's so many whoa-ohs. I feel like that would have sucked you right back in.
I mean, I don't know the woes can necessarily make an album. They can improve an album.
They can improve a song, at least.
Well, maybe if they added, what else do you like? The oaz or who's? Who do you? What do you like?
Who do you?
How about Baba Da
Yes.
Baba Da? There's some of those later on.
Maybe. I mean,
Just
that's
scatting.
that's new. We can go to the next song. So the Fall Guy. The Fall Guy is the next one, which is a show, but this is not about the show.
It's a movie.
Well, there was a show first and then a movie.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I just saw that movie not that long ago. It was good.
It was solid.
Fall Guy. But yeah, it's just like there was a movie, then a show, or a show, then a movie. It's the same tempo again, in my opinion. Like that's just what my ears hear. So it's more of the same, ladies and gentlemen, on this song. Only this time you get more whoa-ohs, and you do have a pick scrape, which I'm calling out for those of you out there that are looking for me to find those in songs. I found one. You're welcome. And the melody is kind of mid-range to me. Like I couldn't find the hook on this one. So this is another one of those, like the last song and this song to me are kind of just there, maybe as background, maybe light it up just a little bit better than the Fall Guy. But when I was saying to myself after listening to this one is, man, okay, we just did the same thing again. How many times are we going to do this again without having some kind of significant melodic hook that I can really sink my teeth into? I hope this album doesn't continue to go in this direction. So that's kind of where I was at after this song.
It's funny that you say that because I feel like the hook in this song is just like The Kids Aren't All Right. You know, if you think about the chorus, you go, I'm the fall guy, it's okay, chances blown, shattered dreams. Like, I feel like the connection is just so strong to that one. And I think that maybe that's why I like this one. I thought this one was actually pretty catchy and enjoyable overall. Maybe the songs, again, are a little cookie cutter or paint by numbers, Offspring, whatever you thought. But I actually liked the Fall Guy. I thought this was a good like number 3, like where the power song goes. I was happy with it.
Oh, it was my turn. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I thought this one was okay. I didn't take a lot of notes on it. It was a fun one, kind of faded into the background for me. I know I kind of bopped around to it, but yeah, I didn't have any strong opinions on this one overall. Yeah, I just call this one kind of mid.
Well, that is a strong opinion because there are people out there that probably love this song. So you are in direct opposition to that. So,
Oh no.
well, you'll hear from them, I'm sure. Yeah, but
Exactly. I'm gonna get yelled at in the Discord.
you'll find a way to make it right, make it all right. So,
Oh,
Steve,
here we go.
do you want to kick us off on this this titular track here?
You're really stretching on that. So this was the first single that they put out, and this is like, hey guys, let's get a song on the radio. Haven't been on the radio in a while. Ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Another one of those kitschy ones. And I don't dislike those. I don't dislike Pretty Fly for a White Guy or what's the other one? Hit That. I'm okay with them. I remember we actually had a debate about this the first go around. Don't remember all the opinions, but I don't dislike those songs. But you have to admit that there's a grouping of Offspring songs that are like, let's do something silly and get on the radio. The female voice just sounds so unenthused, right? All I want to do is to fly away with you. And if that's supposed to make me laugh, then I like it better than if that's supposed to make me enjoy the song, because then I think it's stupid. The Bada Babadas is, yeah, it's there are no whoa-ohs. And yeah, every time I hear that voice, all I want to do is fly with you. I'm like, this is so bad. There's a very, very Blink 182, all the small things esque guitar bridge, which I liked in the song, but having said all that, and I don't think this is a very good song. It is one that you could like wake up in the middle of the night and be like, this is stuck in my freaking head, and now I can't go back to sleep because I'm going ba da ba da ba da ba da. So it does have that kitschy Offspring earwormy quality to it. So I said my negatives. I'll give it some positives, and that's that.
You think this is an earworm?
But just like that part it's catchy.
Is it more or less of an earworm than that APT song that's out there right now?
You know, I don't think I know that song. I think my wife asked. No, did you bring that up? We were talking about. We were talking about that when we went out to dinner.
Yeah, I
song.
Specifically asked you to listen to it. You did not do it, did you?
I had to listen to Supercharged. I was very busy.
I mean, it literally takes a minute and a half to listen to a song.
Can I just say that I'll do it later?
Bailey, you've listened to that song, right? By Rose?
No, I can't say I'm familiar with that one.
Oh my God. Where do I live? Where I'm the one listening to pop music versus you guys. Come on now.
I don't know what you guys listen to over in Pittsburgh, man.
I was in Philly when we talked about this, though. See, I turned the tables on you guys now.
Fly away with you.
All right. Well, so Bailey, you heard your buddy Wingman Steve talk about this song. What say you?
So I'm actually, I'm kind of annoyed. It's almost like you stole my goddamn notes.
Oh,
so I
could have gone
wrote,
first.
This is one of their poppier songs that should make for good radio airplay. I'm pretty well on the record of saying that I'm not really a big fan of their poppier fare, like Original Prankster, and I even put Hit That and Pretty Fly for a White Guy as two examples. And but I still like those songs, but I prefer their like edgier stuff. But this one was okay in my book, didn't grab me, but I did say in my notes, I was like, I have a feeling this will be one of Steve's favorites. But I missed on that one, so I apologize. But yeah, no, this one didn't hit me that much because you're right. This is the one that this is like one of their bigger singles, I think, that came out of it because it's got that like more poppy, radio friendly, can play it in front of the kids style songs. So yeah, I didn't disagree with you.
I'm not going to do it, but if I had more time, I would want you guys to guess the top 4 noodles that popped up on my feed whenever I search noodles. I really want to play that game so bad, but we're not going to do it because it's really out of context.
Ramen's definitely up there, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got to be top 4.
It's not. The number 1 hit is creamy lemon jalapeno noodles.
What?
So that's the number 1 hit on my search.
Your Google algorithm is bizarre.
Yeah, I think did you go to Google dot what is it, CH like China? Or some other kind, Google dot whatever Brazil is?
Okay, fine. Number 2 is soy sauce pan fried noodles. Number 3 is 10-minute gochujang noodles. And number 4 is veggie Hakka noodles.
Okay.
So those are the noodles that come
Maybe
up
those are
when
most popular worldwide.
Everybody in podcast land, we want to know your favorite noodles.
I want to make it. I already made that joke. So at least I hate Hit That. Like, oh my God, that might be the worst song ever that I've ever listened to. And Pretty Fly for a White Guy, it drove me into an anger that ran so deep every time that song would come on. It would just fall deeper and deeper into fury every time I would listen to it. I just I couldn't do it. This song's not that to me. Like I do not make the connection you guys do. I feel like, hey, at least it's different. It's not a lot of that quote unquote samey sound that I complained about just in the last couple songs that we talked about. I'm not mad at the ba 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 chorus. I kind of think it's okay. You're gonna make it all right, as a part of that too. I think it was okay. right? I think it's like you said, it was a little bit catchy. So I was into that. And I'm also a fan of the guitar work here. It stands out definitely a bit more. And I think it has to do with the decently cool effects that they use on the guitar. I can't really pinpoint what those are because I do not play the guitar, but I hear them and I like them. So that was my points here, but I didn't go in the same direction as you guys because I did not feel like it stood on that same level, the very, very low level of those songs that you compared it to. So my opinion, but that's where I stand.
We
All
welcome
right.
all opinions here.
Bailey, why don't you, so that nobody steals the things you're going to say, you can go first.
All right, so this song was okay. This is the last, but this is the last time. So I actually have an interesting take on this one. Well, two interesting takes on this one. One I think makes more sense than the other, but just in terms of the lyrics, the song was kind of more like lyrically heavy than some of the other ones that have been gone that we've talked about so far. But my second take is kind of fun to me. But anyway, I'll go with my first one first. Uh, it sort of reminds me of a sequel to Self Esteem in some ways. Like if you listen to the lyrics, this guy kind of sounds like it's the same dude. Maybe he finally, met somebody, but he's still kind of a bit of a bitch, and he gets, he backs down anytime there's any pushback on disagreements. Is like, I'll say no, but you'll say yes, and I'll say okay, but this is the last time. Like this dude is still getting walked all over. Like he's trying to assert himself, but his partner totally just takes advantage of him. But my second take on this song is sort of kind of like being a parent to a small child. So one of the bits that kind of put me onto is I'll do anything to put that meltdown off for a while, which I think any parent can sympathize with. Like, holy shit, I will give you this piece of candy if you just don't flip out just for a second. I don't know, maybe that's not everybody, but you can sort of sympathize when your kid gets kind of fuzzy, and I'll make a separate dinner for you, and we know who the boss is. Maybe some people don't get bossed around by their kids, but
You know who wears the pants over there?
Some of us do around here. But no, I love my daughter, and she's adorable, and she definitely listens. Anyway, but the former interpretation to me probably makes a little more sense, but I think there's a little bit of wiggle room for the thematically pop punk dad interpretation here.
So did you enjoy this one?
Yes, actually I did. Sorry. Overall, I did enjoy the song. Musically, it was pretty good, but I was focused more on the lyrics because I thought they were kind of interesting.
Yeah, cool. Steve.
Yeah, so the vocals again very, very layered on this one, but I like, even if it's layered, I think Dexter's vocal delivery throughout the entire song is very good and shows its different looks, right? It starts off with a little bit more of that belting out. There's just one more thing. And then we kind of get into that more traditional, that pre-chorus and the chorus, take me for a ride. I like the chorus a lot. I find that it's very catchy. I was pretty pleased with this one. But in terms of like interpreting what we're talking about, Bailey, it's interesting that you kind of came up with that. I posed myself the question, and it made me like the song even more. Are we talking, is the content of this, right? Okay, this is the last time. I'll say no, yes, this is the last time. Are we potentially talking about like romance or relationship type thing? Or are we talking about substance? Are we talking about him wanting to pick up that drink or the smoke or whatever it is that you're doing, and this thing is calling back to you, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do it. All right, one more drink, one more time. So I kind of liked thinking to myself that conversation of, and it could be both. It could be one or the other. I don't know. We could ask Noodles or Dexter or somebody, but I thought that was cool. So I liked okay, but this is the last time, and it didn't remind me of any other song specifically. So I'll call this an original.
I thought you were asking for feedback on that.
I was finished. I was just gonna wait for you to go ahead.
Oh, you had mentioned noodles, and I actually did Google the top 100 noodles in the world.
Okay.
Do you want to know
bonus outtake content?
Do you want to know what the top 3 are?
No, we already did the top 4 that you Googled.
No, but that was different. This is it. So the number one overall is Onokaswe.
What?
Onokaswe.
Onakase?
Onokaswe. It's made with coconut milk, but number 2 is ramen. And the third one, since I promised top 3, is tonkatsu ramen. Tonkatsu ramen. It's a Japanese dish. So
Cool.
those are the top 3 according to this list. And this list was just updated this past Wednesday. So I believe it.
All right, but this is the last time that you talk about.
Listen, you don't have to
noodles.
move me along. We don't move me along. We don't.
That
We
was a
don't.
joke
This
because
is
the
a-
song's called "Okay, this is the
a
last time."
rule. Nope. This is
I got it.
I played the Steve's.
Thanks,
I agree
Bailey.
with Steve's game, and I'm not going to do that this time because I agree with Chris. I almost said Wingman Chris with Chris 183. What is this song? Is my first bullet because when I first started listening to this, I'm like, whoa, I've never heard this done by the Offspring before. That's crazy. It does sound like, think about if the Offspring wrote a theme for a mid 80s sitcom. That's what this sounds like to me. Like this could be the theme song for for a sitcom, maybe late 80s, maybe not mid. Maybe we're thinking like 89 or so. I don't know, but I could hear it there. But guys, I kind of like this one. I think it's great. I think it has a really good melody. I think it does a lot of cool things. It is super catchy. You guys were right. That driving drum beat in the pre-chorus was phenomenal. It was great, right? And you got to have violins. It has an emotional lift sound at the end. I couldn't get enough of this one. I played this one several times over and over again before going on to the next one. I don't know why. It just connected with me. A lot of great stuff here. I would recommend this to somebody, although I would tell them doesn't quite sound like the Offspring, but I think you're still going to like it. So that's where I'm at on this one.
Why don't you keep it rolling? Tell us about the truth and fiction.
Yeah, truth and fiction. So the pro on this one is it has a classic Offspring tempo and sound. The cons are it has a classic Offspring tempo and sound again. So this one, here's what I will say. I think that this one will definitely grow on me because even though I made obviously took a shot at the song based on the fact I felt it was samey once again. I think this is more in the vein of what I really like from an Offspring song. And I just think I was just being, I don't know, cranky because I just heard something that was really melodic and I could really get into. And then I hear this again that brings me back to what I've heard before from them. So I want to listen to this one more and more to see if it does grow. It's just, this one I think eventually will be a good song in my opinion, just not today. What did you guys think?
Go ahead, Bailey.
I like this one. I agree. This kind of had like a classic Offspring feel. This is like their every album or two, they have like a pretty solid like social commentary song, and I think this is kind of like one of their classic like social commentary songs. This one kind of hits on like the total amount of bonkers like missing bonkers amount of like misinformation that's out there. And without going out like political rant, this one kind of strikes a nerve for me because we're in a kind of time right now where regardless of which side you fall on, you're gonna completely distrust like some of the material that's out there. Like the song kind of hits at the complete distrust that there is in media and just in some of the information that's out there, and it is kind of scary. But overall, the song, the topic, I enjoyed the song itself. The fast paced, big, crunchy guitar. I would put this one on any kind of high energy playlist I would ever listen to. I enjoyed this song greatly, but the sorry, lost my train of thought there. But yeah, no, this one was a big hit for me. I enjoyed the song a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm somewhere in between, closer to Chris. I don't dislike the tune, but I do agree that it sounds recycled. It sounds like their fast political social commentary type song. I think the harmonies when they're doing the truth in fiction, I feel like they sound bad. Like the harmonies just don't sound good. I didn't particularly like just that whole like aha deep fake over and over. I think the thing that I did like about it was the verses. And I do agree with you guys that you can't trust your news, whatever side you're on. You're always like, do I trust who's writing this? So I guess I also like the concept of it. But I just thought it sounded, again, a bit recycled and not that good. Not that good.
Not that good.
Not that good.
You know what's good is I just put into Google the term. I put in the phrase "Does noodles eat noodles?" Question mark.
And what'd you get?
It says AI tells me this. It says no, noodles don't eat noodles, but people eat noodles.
Thanks,
Don't
AI.
trust what you hear, AI.
It just tells me that what they are, noodles are a type of dough that's rolled out, flattened, and shaped into long, thin strips. So it really didn't want to play that game, but we'll go to the
Fake
next
news.
song.
Fake news.
Come to Brazil.
So I don't know. Should I start? I'm already talking. I don't have much to say here other than, first of all, these creepy ass Spotify graphics that might be pretty cool, might not be. I don't know. But if you guys didn't listen to this on Spotify, you should, if you have the ability to do that, because it gives you these moving graphics. I think they might be on the album cover, but I can't tell you for sure. But it's a lot of skeletons and a lot of like demonic skeletons or something like that. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of creepy. But this one gives the skeletons, I think, work on this song because this one has a very like late 80s, 90s metal vibe. You get those guitar thrashing sounds and all of that fun stuff that you get from that genre of music. But it's a travel song for Brazil. It's just, hey, family, come to Brazil. It's fun. This is why.
Well, it's kind of it's a joke. It's a funny concept. I can explain it if you'd like.
No, that's what it is. I'm telling you what it is. It's like a travel message for those that are looking to travel to Brazil. It sells you on it basically.
I guess
a lovely place in some ways.
You could say that, but the whole come to Brazil concept is that, so basically if you watch any band like live streams on whatever social platform that you're on, there are flooded with comments, come to Brazil, come to Brazil, come to Brazil, and the Brazil flags. Like the Brazilian people are just starved for more and more live music, and I guess they don't get the tours as often as possible. So it's like, it's a funny concept for a song. I understand it. They're kind of taking that, turning it into a song, but I just don't really see a reason why they need to write like a song about it at all. I did find parts of it to be a bit stadium rocky, like kind of Queen-ish or something like that. But overall, I found the song to be pretty bad for 3 reasons. I think the come to Brazil parts are too slow. I think that there's a part in this song, or most of the song, where Dexter's voice, it sounds like they gave him helium before he got into the recording booth. And the Olay part is dumb. I think that maybe Blink-182 doing the Olay, maybe those are the Olays that I can stomach for the time being in the near future. I thought that part at the end was stupid. The only positive notes I really wrote down were that the drums and the guitars were very good, as it seems to be a theme, at least in my brain.
As opposed to very bad.
Yes, as opposed to the overall song.
Queen is what you hear?
There was like
yeah, I didn't hear Queen on that one either.
The stadium kind of rockish part. I don't know if it's Queen. I just think about like
Anthrax
or something.
They definitely had like a metalish feel to them for sure. Like this one was like I guess I'll just dive in. But this one definitely was a bizarre track for me. Like it felt kind of out of place because it was like I've never heard them like do this sort of like metalish sound before. So I kind of dug into it a bit. And Steve, I read about the Come to Brazil thing, but I didn't realize that was like for like all bands. I thought for some reason they had just had a very big following in Brazil and that they were just writing a song about their Brazilian fans. But maybe you have more of the behind the scenes on that one than I do.
Well, now moving forward, if you see that somebody's playing live on the internet or even just doing like a thing where they're talking Instagram live or something like that, just keep your eyes on the comments and it'll pop. It's like, Punchline, where they point out that the number 37 is everywhere and then you see 37 everywhere. Right. Now you'll see it.
that observation bias. Like now that I know it's there, I'm going to see it everywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll keep an eye out next time I'm doing a live feed. But yeah, so I mean, overall, I wasn't that crazy about the song, but that's because it felt kind of out of place. Steve, I'm totally there with you. The Olays, I thought it was an unnecessary outro. I get that it's sort of like a nod to like soccer and stuff like that, because that's kind of like the song that you always hear during like football matches, and obviously Brazil is known for their soccer prowess. But yeah, no, I was not crazy about this one. I thought it was a cool attempt, or I thought it was a cool try at like a medley song. So it kind of had like almost like a Sum 41 feel to me, and I enjoy that personally. But nah, this one was a miss for me.
All right, well, keep it moving on. I don't think I've kicked one off in a bit, so I'll go with Get Some. Get Some. Let's see. What did I write here? The guitar riffs and the bass are pretty cool in the song. I like that. The yeah, yeah was very, very Smash reminiscent to me. But overall, I thought the song was pretty decent. Basic, a lot of woohoos, like a lot of the album. But I couldn't really find any reason to pick this one apart. I thought this was somewhat classic Offspring sound, early Offspring sounding, and I liked it.
Good, Bailey. I'm looking at something.
No worries.
He's googling more ways to look up noodles.
We have to find more noodle facts for our fans. Anyway, so this one was kind of another weird one for me, but it wasn't because it was like an experimental song or anything like that. It just felt sort of disjointed. I enjoyed it a little bit. I've noticed that there was a pretty killer instrumental section right in the middle that I enjoyed pretty thoroughly. I feel like a lot of the songs, like the back half of this album, had like a pretty solid like instrumental track. And yeah, Steve, you mentioned it earlier. Like the instruments, like they're a tight band. Like they still play their stuff pretty well. Like
You know how to wail.
yeah, they do, man. They know how to wail, bro. But no, they are good maestros. And yes, while Dexter's voice might be fading in his age, yeah, they still know how to play their shit. And that one that kind of came through on this one, but overall I didn't kind of like it. That weird like Kansas interlude in the middle I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. To each their own, I guess. But this one was kind of another mid song to me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a skip for me. I did look up the worst noodle dishes in the world, but unfortunately, it doesn't tell you why they are. So I'm not going to read from that because it's just silly. It just doesn't make any sense that it doesn't give you that detail because that's the only way it would be a good segment. But right off the bat, even the title of the song pisses me off a little bit. Like, get some, really? That's how people talk. Who says that?
Travis Kelce, Patrick
Oh
Mahomes.
my God.
Oof.
No.
God, they're going for a
Okay, you're
third.
kind of proving my point.
Mhm.
For all of you Kansas City fans out there for High School Never Ends, congratulations on going to the Super Bowl again. I'll just throw that out
Yeah.
there. Congrats. I mean, whatever, right? But the song's not good, guys. This sounds like a bad montage video song from a mid 2000s teen comedy that went straight to video. I could do without it. There's nothing redeeming with this one. Maybe some decent guitar, but I would rather hear decent guitar on other tracks versus this one. So here we are. Here we are.
We're just hanging by a thread.
Yeah. I mean, we're not hanging by a moment. We're hanging by a thread.
My moment here with you.
Ugh.
Do you know who
How are
sang
they
that?
popular again?
Lifehouse.
Are they popular again?
Oh, that was Life. I thought that was Creed. Whoops. A swing and a miss.
Creed.
Sorry. I was about to judge you, Steve.
How dare you? How dare you? So this song, I don't have too many notes here. Wait, the intro. Oh, into the main riff. Okay. Oh, I'm into the main riff. I couldn't figure out what I was trying to say here. I know what I want to say. I don't know how to say it, but that's why I write it down. So it has a nice lead into the chorus. There's that cool dropout sound towards the end where everything drops out with the guitar and the vocals. So good stuff there. Outside of that, nothing really popped out to me here. So not bad. Not a traditionally awful song that you have in that dead spot, that second to last spot in the album. But that's really all I can pull out of it in terms of stuff to talk about. So guys, what say you?
You got anything on this one?
Yeah, I love the pace and the fast guitar on this one, but I've said that by about several songs at this point. But this one covers a bit more of a mature topic to me. This was kind of like it was, kind of sounds like a song from a perspective of a person who's dealing with a lot of trauma. So that was an interesting one to like when I was looking through the lyrics. I was like, ooh, this one sounds kind of dark. And it kind of the pace and the feel of the song kind of tracks with that. Like it was kind of a darker sounding song. This is like one of those ones when you're like putting on when you're pouring a glass of whiskey and you're like mad at the world for whatever reason. It seems like the kind of song you would put on there. But overall, dug it. It's a good one. I put it on some playlists every now and then.
Yeah, I think that to me this is just kind of another one of those tracks, kind of mid. For some reason, I wrote down the delivery on his verses seemed like it was a little bit held back. The chorus I found a little kind of stadium rocky. Not that's a bad thing, but I don't know, just not. Doesn't seem like this album is like really getting through to me all that much. And this one I didn't particularly have too much to say about. Like you, Chris, just there.
I thought they had a pretty good like instrumental piece in the middle of this one. Like I thought there was a solid like not like guitar solo, but there was like a good instrumental melody in the middle.
We
All
should
right, well,
we should do a
trying to wrap
stadium
this up.
rock. We should base now that we should basically just should do a stadium rock album. Like take
Yeah,
your pick.
Stadium Arcadium.
Like Boston, Kansas, you name it, right? We could do it.
Maybe in February. February is right around the corner. This is our last 2024 album for January, unless we do one on Patreon.
Stadium Rock September.
That does have some alliteration, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I would just do Stadium September. Take out the rock.
That's more like Stadium Arcadium, though. So we would be like a Chili Peppers September.
I don't know about
Not a
that.
bad choice.
California, California, California.
Mm,
You can't get there from here.
you can't. I think
Steve with those tie-ins.
I feel like You Can't Get
So
There From
witty.
Here is a song somewhere else, but
Yeah, because it's the same riff as Gotta Get Away.
I love this one. I think this song's great. If you don't think so, then I'm going to have to vigorously oppose that opinion because I think this is a really great melody here, guys. And almost like when it starts off, it sounds, Dexter sounds Ozzy-esque to me, like maybe guitars. I don't know why I say that. It just kind of feels that way. Obviously, when he shifts into latter parts of the song, he doesn't sound like that anymore. He sounds more like himself. But I think that this has great Offspring melody. This has a well-timed chorus. Sounds good through and through. Cool effects, throughout the song on the guitars. Nice pace. Not too short, not too long. This is a great way to end the album. So I was into this one, and I really was able to enjoy how this album kind of closed itself out. So that's where I'm at.
I'll go next and let Bailey close it out, but I don't know that I fully agree. Again, I did find that riff like it sound like Gotta Get Away, and I don't know, this seems kind of just like a softer Offspring song. Like Offspring was like being like Bon Jovi, like they were writing like a soft rock song for radio or something like that. Like the chorus is catchy, but it just seemed a little, I don't know, safe. It was okay. It wasn't like great. I wasn't like, man, they put a stamp on this album. But it was okay. That's all I got.
I'm sort of in the same wheelhouse. I enjoyed the song. I thought it was one of the better ones off of the album. And like I'll look at it from the lyric perspective because apparently I like that. I thought this one was kind of interesting because it was seems like it was kind of written from the perspective of like someone's cruel inner voice of someone with like some big insecurities. Like right off the bat, they're like, "Well, I'm in your ear to destroy all that once was so pure." Like, damn, that's a hell of a first line. Like that's you're digging in pretty deep there right off the bat. But I won't let you forget the things that if you had only like the that voice of regret
Mm-hmm.
noodling at the back of you, saying that you can't get there from here because you suck. Anyway, that's kind of what my interpretation of the song was. But yes, I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was like, like Steve, kind of like you said, it's not the nail to finish off the album, but It's a solid finish. I enjoyed it.
Well, I wanted to share something with you guys now that we've gone through this, since I made quite a after I made my claims and made my thoughts on what this album was. I wanted to like look at some reviews and see like what I could find out there, and I found one by the Soundboard Reviews. It's on there on the Googles, and I'm just gonna read a couple excerpts for you guys. It starts off, well, that title sure is brave. First off, there's nothing supercharged about the Offspring's output lately. In the last decade and a half, they've released precisely 2 albums, of which the consensus has fallen somewhere between resolute disinterest and outright panning. Nothing new for a band who've frequently been unable to decide whether they're proper punk stalwarts or their own cartoonified doppelgangers, but you'd also imagine that when they've been around since 1984, they should have some idea by now. And I'm not reading the whole thing. I'm just going to pull a couple of lines that I thought were funny. The reality of the situation is Supercharged is just an Offspring album. The humor has been turned down, but it's not gone completely. The sound of it all remains functionally the same. The only real difference is how surprisingly faceless this is, even with every effort from the Offspring to prove otherwise. The lion's share of this album is either competently mid-level or entirely forgettable. And it ends with, put it this way, you know how batteries naturally degrade and lose energy storage over time? Maybe this is, in fact, what Supercharged looks like when time has slashed your maximum capacity by such an enormous degree. So I felt very validated when I read someone else's review that kind of matched some of the thing. I was not that mean, but I found it funny.
That was a very poetic takedown.
Did you write that, Steve?
No,
Be honest.
That's by the Soundboard Reviews.
I was gonna say, Steve, if you wrote that, I would be like, "Damn, bro, you're a good writer."
I'm not a good writer. You've heard me speakamify. I'm not that clear.
Didn't you start the Soundboard Reviews? Isn't that your thing?
Nope, I have no connection to them.
I swear I have an email from you telling me that you were going to do something like that.
Nah, Chris, do you want to play the setlist game? Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't.
I'm okay with a setlist game. I think that I've always been of the mind that we should definitely space it out, but I enjoy the game so much.
We haven't done it in a bit.
I'm willing to make an exception. I mean, on the show, not space it out episode to episode. But since we didn't do that and we're at this point, and I really like that game, let's play.
All right. So the Offspring played at the Always Live Festival. This was in Melbourne, Australia on November 24th, 2024. So this is about a month and a half after the album came out. The set includes 14 songs plus 2 in the encore. So a total of 16 songs, just to give you an overview of what it looked like that evening. And Bailey, the question for you is, how many songs off of Supercharged do you think were played in this set?
When was this festival? Was this recently?
It was November of 2024. So it was like right after the album, month after the album came out.
I will say 2.
All right, Chris, do you think it was any? Was it 1, 2?
They had how many songs total?
If you include the encore, there were 16 songs.
So it's 16 songs, and I look at, you're definitely going to take 4, 8, 12. Yeah, you got to be, just for the sake of fun, I'll go 3.
Okay, well, one of you is correct, and that's Bailey.
Hey, let's go.
2 songs were played. Okay, it's we each get one guess, one and done. What songs made it onto this set list?
Laid it up.
That's one. Chris,
Yes.
What's the other one?
Oh, this is the last time.
Nope, I'm sorry, you lost that part of the game. It's ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da. Make it all right. Thank you for playing. That was fun.
I enjoyed that.
Not playing that song ever, and not playing that game ever again.
Till next week.
It's done. It's done forever. It's done forever. Well, we
Told
can get to
Laid It
rank.
Up is a good live song.
We can get to ranking it. I did want to mention before we get there that I looked up, here are some arena rock bands just for you guys, your guys' FYI. So I'll read off the ones just in case you were confused. Steve, you actually weren't confused halfway. So Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Def Leppard, Styx, Journey, REO Speedwagon, Boston, Queen,
Told you.
Alice Cooper, and Foreigner are the ones that they mentioned here. So when you think Arena Rock, you think Foreigner, Alice Cooper, and Queen. But that's a great segue into our next segment, which we entitle Ranking It. This is the segment that you guys have been waiting for, and it's pretty much the one I've been waiting for too. Why? Because it's so much fun. This is where we get to rank our top 3 favorite songs off the album Supercharged. We're going to be supercharged doing this.
I have a bold prediction, Chris.
I don't know if this is going to be easy or tough. I always say it's going to be easy and it's tough, and I always say it's going to be tough and it ends up being easy. So I have no clue which way we're going to go. What is your prediction?
Let's do it first, and then I'll show you afterwards.
Oh, you wrote down the prediction
as evidence. So that
I don't want my prediction to affect what gets said.
We normally go with guests first. So Bailey, you are up. What are your top 3 in order? 3, 2, 1. No honorable mention.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Third favorite off this one, I would say okay, but this is the last time. Really dug that song, but I greatly enjoyed Truth and Fiction over that one. Like I said, I thought it was a fun beat. Almost kind of had like a Bad Religionist feel to me, but that's just me. And my top song from this album was Light It Up. I don't know if that's any surprise, but I heard that song live when they were at the Ocean's Calling Festival. It was really good then. It's really good now. I enjoy it greatly. Number 1 song.
Light it up, up,
It is,
up, up.
it is in fact, it is in fact the titular song off this album. So I don't think it's a bad pick at all. It's not my pick. Steve, would you like me to go next?
Go for it.
Shouldn't be asking you during my game, but I am a gentleman, so I will ask you that question.
Go for it.
Number 3 on my list is Make It Right. Number 2, I'm just going to go for it. Number 2 is You Can't Get There From Here. And number 1 is Okay, but This Is the Last Time. I know I tipped my hat or showed my hand to what number 1 was because I chose that one during your game that just happened. And I pretty much gushed about it whenever we talked about it. So probably tipped my hand there, but that's okay. Steve, what are your top 3?
Well, my prediction was wrong. This was my prediction.
Interesting.
Somebody read it.
We will have...
Go
ahead.
We will all have the same number 1 song.
But I was wrong because you guys have different number 1 songs. But somebody was right, and it was Chris 183. So for number 3, I picked My Songs Know What You Do in the Dark, Light It Up. Number 2, nobody liked The Fall Guy except me. I liked The Fall Guy because it sounded like Kids Aren't All Right. And then the best song on this album by far is Okay, but This Is the Last Time. And I thought we were all going to have that one. That's why I wanted to make that bold prediction. But Bailey dropped us to number 3.
Blew it up. I do like that song, though. It was a tight race between 2 and 3.
Fair enough.
Truth and Fiction.
So
sometimes
guys,
you got to take shots. Sometimes you miss them. Sometimes you make them.
Where does this album fit in the annals of this vast discography of the Offspring or Offspring?
Quick answer, quite low.
Does that mean it's the last one?
You know, I don't know all of, I don't know their 1989 self-titled album all that much. And I don't know 2021's Let the Bad Times Roll. So it's got to be bottom 3. I'll say that, at least.
Okay. So Bailey, you are the resident expert and super fan of The Offspring for the show High School Never Ends. We brought you on here for a reason, and that reason is to give an accurate opinion and well thought out thoughts. So what say you? Where does this one fit?
So after doing intense data analytic driven science, I have come to the conclusion that this is a top half but mid album. So I would say probably like top 5, but probably like in the 5 range. It's like maybe 5, 6, 7. Granted, they have 11 studio albums, so it's not too bad. I would say it's top half, but not. It's mid.
Would you put it? Okay, listen. So this is what we're gonna do with you. We got to do something with you. I can't just leave you out there like that.
Mhm.
Is it better or worse than Conspiracy of One?
Better. I didn't like Conspiracy of One.
Okay. Is it better or worse Americana?
Worse.
So it's below Americana, above Conspiracy of One. Is it better or worse than Ixnay on the Ombre?
I would say worse, but Ixnay is a personal favorite.
All right, one more. Better or worse than Days Go By?
Way better. Oh wait, Days Go By. Sorry, I was thinking of the previous one, Bad Times Roll. I would say on par with Days Go By.
Would you pick Conspiracy of One or Bad Times Roll?
Conspiracy of One.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out your come
Good
up with a
ranking.
list. Come up with your rank for all the albums and share that with us, and we'll share it on something.
I can give you my top three off the top of my head if you want.
No, I want you to do all the albums.
Oh,
We want you
okay.
Yeah,
to
we
do
did
them
that
all.
already a long time ago.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do it again. Do it again. It's a new year. It's a new
Updated
you.
rankings.
That's right. That's right, Steve. Steve, you don't have. You already gave your opinion, and my opinion is, I don't know. Like I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 albums that it's not better than. Maybe 5, and they have how many albums total?
11 studio.
So kind of dead smack in the middle.
Yep, agreed.
I like Days Go By better than this one for sure. Happy Hour is number 1
Happy Hour.
by far.
I'm waiting on Pins and Needles for my cassette.
But I don't know. I that 1989 Offspring. I know people fight me on that are like purists, but I tried to like that one. I just never really could. I never really could. Like I never really could like it as much as Smash. So I don't know where I'd put it, but yeah, it's probably right in the middle, lower middle. I think we'll go with that. Is that a cop out? Maybe, I don't know. But we did it, guys. We got through it. We did it all.
Yay.
This was a fun time. We took the whole month. We talked about albums that were new from 2024, and we also got to talk to Jarrett Reddick, which was cool. That was not an album, but that was a fun show. And excited for what comes next. It's the last one.
What does come next is the question. If you are one of our patrons, you might already know. You might have a clue. For those of you that don't, you don't know yet, but you will find out soon. We definitely have plans in store for you for what comes next in the progression for High School Never Ends. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed 2024, a look back, or whatever we called it. What do we call it, Steve? 2024?
New from 2024.
Okay. I like a look back.
And one from 2023, actually. But whatever.
And we hope you like our review of Supercharged by The Offspring or Offspring, depending on how you say it. But yeah, more to come here, guys. We had a blast. Bailey, thanks for coming on. You did not disappoint. I do expect a lot of post-show data and analytics and all of that stuff. Can you come through with that?
Yes. Thank you for having me on once again. I will put all of this data through my supercomputer and punch out the definitive list of greatest Offspring albums of all time. In order.
Awesome. Okay. Well, guys out there, hopefully you enjoyed High School Never Ends 2024 look back or whatever Steve called it. Maybe we do 2025 in the future, but what you need to worry about is what comes next. And we'll have something really cool for you here in just around the corner. For right now, we'd love to know what you thought about the show. Go to Apple Podcasts if you have Apple. Give us a 5-star review and a written review. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't, what you'd like to see on the show. 5-star reviews always make us feel great, and definitely shoot our podcast up the list so we can get that visibility so more people can listen to us talk about the music we all love. And speaking of love, we would love if you would check out our shop and take a look at some of the cool stuff we have on there. Everything from mugs to shirts to hats to gloves. It's all there for you. Check it out. Maybe buy something for somebody special. Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
That is right. And you can follow us on the social things at HSNE Pod, like High School Never Ends Pod. Join our Discord server. Join our Patreon at www.patreon.com/HSNEpod for extra Steve and extra Chris and extra other guests, maybe Bailey. You never know. We're going to have extra stuff all the time. And February is not going to disappoint. We'll be back next week. An all new little mini series. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. If you're enjoying this show, check out DragonWagonShop.com and get yourself some sweet merch while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. That's DragonWagonShop.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.